Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to JoyNews Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle, and we're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and across the world on myjoyonline.com. I'm Sheila Sechi. Coming up, Ghana Armed Forces says all soldiers injured in recent missile attack on its UN battalion in Lebanon is in stable condition. We have details. Number of injured persons in latest Gbenyiri shooting incident rises to 2 as death toll stays at 2. These plus other stories in this package. Do stay for details. This is your home of independent, credible, and fearless journalism. Thanks for choosing us. Thanks for your company this evening. Now, the Ghana Armed Forces says all soldiers injured in the recent missile attack on its UN battalion in Lebanon are now in stable condition. The critically injured soldier has successfully undergone surgery, whilst those whose quarters were destroyed have been reaccommodated and supported. The statement reads: the Ghana Armed Forces wishes to inform the general public that following the recent missile attack on the headquarters of the Ghanaian battalion serving with the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, 4 soldiers are injured, 3 minor and 1 critical. The critically injured soldier has successfully undergone surgery and responding to treatment. All injured soldiers are currently in stable condition. Additionally, 14 officers whose accommodation were completely burnt down have been since been rekitted, reaccommodated, and provided some support. Despite the incident, the battalion is in high spirits and morale remains high. The Ghana Armed Forces expresses its profound gratitude to the general public for the continued solidarity. And this is signed by Veronica Azo-Ahen, who is the Captain, Acting Director General, Public Relations of Ghana Navy. And back here in Ghana, the number of injured persons in the latest Gbenyiri shooting incident has risen to 2, with a death toll remaining at 2. Savannah Regional Police Command last week confirmed the shooting to death of 2 men and the injury of another. Both the deceased and the injured were sent to the Solatuna Kauba in the Savannah region. Let's get to the grounds and speak to our correspondent Isaac Nonya for more on this report. Thanks for joining us, Isaac.
Thank you and welcome.
Right, tell us the overview of the incident.
Yes, right now I can confirm through the DATEC chairman, who is DC of the area, that the death toll has risen from 2 to 5. Likewise, the injured are also rising from 1 to 5. But one of them, who happens to be the head man of the Gbenyiri team, his case is very critical. He has a fed from the Solatuna Kauba Hospital to one regional hospital. I will speak where the case the trigger of this or this all incident is not led because it is said. 1, they are suspecting our robbery involving the death of one of the victims, that the one identifying by tribe, while the 4 others were also linked to some reprisal attacks from another side because the robbery attack robbed their kinsman and then killed him. So based on that, they also got information and went in retaliation and killing people that they believe are also from the other side of the attack.
All right, tell us the condition of the injured. Are they responding to treatment well?
Yes, those at the Solat Hospital, we are told they are responding to treatment from the DC. But the one that we transferred to one regional hospital, his case more serious according to the medical personnel there. Now, we realized that 2 weeks ago, that attack triggered what is happening according to DC. that a herdsman was returning from the cattle market from Bupe. And when he got to one of the suburbs of Bola district, he was accosted by robbers, robbed and then killed. And that triggered a response from the community around. Now, if you look at those who have died, many of them, according to TC, are herdsmen. And that leader in Sola is the one feeding the council with all this information, the injured and the dead. Among the injured is a 7-year-old boy who also sustained gunshot wound. And he's at the Sola hospital receiving treatment.
Well, that's quite sad. So, per what you're saying, death toll has risen from 2 to 5. Tell us what the mood like at Gbenyiri. How are people responding to the atmosphere?
As much as I cannot describe how they feel because they're all quiet, but particularly their demeanor looks worried and a bit quite uncertain because they don't know what is triggering all this death, the latest death and shooting. They know that because they are cautious, very cautious about their personal security. But with this recent one, they don't know whether it's from what has happened before or this from a different angle. Even the DC cannot tell. I asked him a question: what could have been the possible trigger of this thing? He talked about the armed robbery issue, and then also brought the angle where the Gbenyiri chief headman was put to attack and then he sustained injury.
So how are authorities responding to this? What measures are they putting in place to manage such occurrences?
Respect leaving the place, I think they understood the situation very well. So they left enough personnel on the ground together with what that's already put in place. So as of somewhere 11 p.m., Respect together with that were in the community, move around from palace to palace and then meeting groups of residents to assure them and to let them know that this will not degenerate to anything closer to what has happened. But certainty was something that the people cannot actually take from the executive personnel based on their initial experience.
Well, thank you very much, Isaac. Nonya is our Savannah regional correspondent. We'll be following promptly and feeding you the updates on that story. Now, it's International Women's Day. Managing Director of Nestle Ghana, Salome Azivodo, is asking young girls to pursue their dreams with confidence and purpose, knowing that their voices and contributions are essential to the progress of every nation. Speaking at the President's Awards for School Children in Accra, she said the awardees are breaking barriers and encouraging other women to believe in themselves.
We are committed to enhancing the quality of life for everyone, and today we are proud to celebrate 52 exceptional students whose achievements reflect resilience and excellence. The theme for this year's Independence Celebration, Building Prosperity, Restoring Hope, strongly aligns with the spirit of the President's Independence Awards. By celebrating the academic achievement of these remarkable students, we are not only rewarding hard work and dedication, but we are also investing in the prosperity of Ghana. Your success serves as a beacon of hope, one that inspires others to aim higher and remind us all that with determination, opportunity, and support, the sky is your limit. As we also mark this week International Women's Day, I would like to share a special message with all the young girls present here today. I want you to know that your achievements carry a lot of weight. You are breaking barriers and inspiring other young girls to believe in themselves and aim higher. Continue to pursue your dreams with confidence and purpose, knowing that your voice, ambition, and contributions are essential to the continued progress of any nation. And I just take the moment to recognize the courage of the two young ladies that just performed for us. It takes a lot to come here on this big stage.
Moving on, students and staff of Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS are worried about the lack of essential learning facilities. Teachers are often compelled to rely on their mobile phones to demonstrate practical lessons to a class of over 40 pupils. Deborah Enimwa-Bedu reports the situation is hampering academic work.
As they marked the 69th Independence Day celebration, it was all smiles for pupils of Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS. This brief moment of joy takes them away from the challenges they grapple every day when it comes to teaching and learning. Chief among these constraints is the absence of an ICT laboratory and teaching materials to enable them sharpen their knowledge in modern computing programs. Even though they emerged the winners on which school marched best during this year's Independence Day celebration, this does not take their minds off the daunting challenges facing them. Bridget Edinam is a teacher with the Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS.
It has affected us. I teach computing in the school. Sometimes when we have to have practicals, I'll have to project and they'll have to close all the windows. You can imagine the heat over there. And we don't have enough desks. They see 3, 3, 4, 4 and the heat. They are unable to concentrate and a whole lot.
Students also expressed frustration over the lack of adequate furniture. They added that metallic windows of the classrooms trap heat and make the learning environment uncomfortable.
Desks in our class is not enough. Sometimes we have been crowded together. We sit 4, but in the desks we have to sit in 2s. But because of you are not having much infrastructure, we are sitting in 4s. So we need much desks so that all of us can feel free in the classroom.
So sometimes the class is very hot because it doesn't allow much air to come into the classroom.
Also present at the event was the Municipal Chief Executive for Ayawaso Central, Rudolph Collingwood Williams, who revealed that plans are underway to secure libraries and laboratories to improve learning conditions for students.
We have some libraries within the municipality that we want to refurbish. And also there are IT labs, which, like I'm saying, all boils down to funding. So as the funding is coming in, we'll also try and apportion them to make sure that at least the schools within the municipality are able to be well resourced in terms of technology and in terms of the library aspect as well. So it's something that each and every now and then we keep trying to upgrade, or we keep trying to seek for sponsorship to make sure that our students, in terms of technology, they are there. In terms of the reading aspect too, they are there with our basic books that they need.
As part of efforts to improve education in the municipality, authorities are appealing to government and other stakeholders to support the provision of critical infrastructure for schools. For JoyNews, Deborah Enimwa-Bedu's report, read to you.
Now, authorities of Achimota School have bemoaned inadequate infrastructure, which is limiting the ability to admit more qualified students each academic year. Management says many students who meet the admission requirement are unable to gain entry due to limited boarding and academic facilities. Headmaster of the school, Ebenezer Graham Aqua, is calling for support to address the situation. There is more in this report filed by Deborah Enimwa-Bedu.
The atmosphere at Achimota School was vibrant and celebratory as students, teachers and old students gathered to mark the school's 99th Founders Day, reflecting pride in the institution's long history of academic excellence. But beneath the celebration lies a pressing challenge confronting one of the country's most respected senior high schools. According to the headmaster of the school, Ebenezer Graham Aqua, limited boarding and learning facilities remain a major concern as many qualified students are unable to secure admission each academic year.
Because of the numerous achievements, everybody wants to come to Achimota School. And now it's turning into a challenge, in that I don't even have the space. You see, the government is doing so well. The OCS are also doing so well to help expand the school. But there's still not enough for everybody. And so you realize that people will be saying they need boarding, I don't get it for them. We need Achimota School, I can't help because I don't have the space.
Beyond student accommodation, staff welfare is also affected. Teachers who stay late on campus often have limited residential facilities, while some washroom structures remain improvised with a few lacking access to running water. Despite these challenges, support from old students continue to bring some relief. One of such assistance came from the members of the 1976-year group who constructed an 8-unit staff bungalow to provide accommodation for teachers and reduce the pressure on existing facilities.
We visited some of the shared garage dwellings with their plywood extensions, funded by the teachers themselves. I refuse to describe their improvised washrooms, some without running water. It was sad. In that moment, the class of 1976 resolved to act. I am proud to announce that the 1976 class for its 50th anniversary legacy project started in March 2025, the construction of an 8-unit, $500,000 teachers accommodation facility.
Another group of alumni, the 2001-year group, also stepped in with plans to renovate the school's science theater lecture hall. The project will upgrade the facility with modern technological equipment to enhance science teaching and learning. According to the group, the renovation is expected to be completed within 3 months.
2001-year group, our legacy project is the science lecture theater renovation. So what we are doing is to bring it up to the standard. It means we are totally changing the place in terms of the seating arrangement, the technology that's in the room, the tiling, everything about it, because it's a very old building, has been used for several decades, and as it stands now, it requires a lot of changes so that to make it fit for purpose. The project will take about 3 months, so we've gotten the go-ahead from the projects team from the school, and we have the funds also ready, we have the contractor selected, and we're ready to start.
The ceremony ended with students proudly showcasing Ghana's rich cultural heritage through colorful performances representing the country's diverse ethnic traditions. Management says expanding facilities will allow the school to admit more qualified students and eventually transition from the double-track system to a single-track system. For Joy News, Deborah Enimwa-Beidu's report read to you.
And you're still live on JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Thanks for staying. Now, the District Assembly and Member of Parliament for the area are working to promote hygienic practices among students in the enclave. The initiative will curb the outbreak of communicable diseases, especially in riverine communities. Fred Kwame Asare has more in the following report.
Gbenyiri is one of the riverbound communities in the Southern District where residents engage in poor sanitation practices, including dumping of refuse and engaging in open defecation along the riverbank. This has led to environmental and health challenges, including outbreak of communicable diseases as the residents survive on water from the river. This informed the Assembly to focus on cleaning the riverbank in Gbenyiri when it launched a sanitation drive under the leadership of the District Chief Executive, Kayich Kwame Kokroko.
Currently we have about 15 people who are in charge of the Gbenyiri market in terms of sweeping. We realize we need to up the numbers. So we are developing a model where we will engage about 15 will be at the riverbank to ensure that on daily basis they keep the place clean. Also would empower our environmental health unit to ensure that people don't carry refuse to the riverbank here. We have a point where we are supposed to send our product. Zumaleon comes to pick it every time. So we just have to enforce the law. If you fail to observe the law will deal with you.
The Southern District Environmental Sanitation Officer expressed her outfit's commitment to the initiative aiming to curb the outbreak of communicable diseases.
Okay, this is the source of water the community depends on, and it's full of filthy. So now that we are taking care of the place, and there are domestic animals also feeding on the water, it will give us zoonotic diseases that we get from the animals and human beings. So as we are doing this, we put in measures to prevent the animals also having contact with the water, as we are using it as for domestic uses. We use it to bath, we use it to drink, we use it to do other household choices. So I believe with this cleanup exercise, things will get better.
What would you advise for the residents?
Sanitation, they say, is a shared responsibility. And because it is intangible, unlike the roads, when you construct it today, it will take you 1,500 years before you reconstruct. When we sweep today, by evening, the place will get dirty again. And so I want to advise the people of Gbenyiri, it shouldn't just be a monthly affair. It should be part of us. We should make sure we do it. For me, the power of a broom is enormous.
The exercise was used to mark the 69th Independence Anniversary celebrations in the South Dine District. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Germany.
Now, as part of Ghana Month, the Beverly Hills Academy and the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development, CICOD, are challenging students to prepare strictly indigenous African meals to combat the rising tide of youth lifestyle diseases. Deputy Director of CICOD, Daniel Bonuku, wants government to pursue a policy regime that prohibits the sale of carbonated ultra-processed foods, adding that the national buffer stock must be redesigned to prioritize food grown by Ghanaian farmers. Rafiq Salam reports.
The banner of CICOD's My Food is African campaign, the School's Heritage Week, saw students proudly donate traditional attire and presented regional dishes in authentic F-way bowls and calabasas. Grouped into Ghana's traditional 10 regions, students showcase a variety of local cuisines, including the Asante region's eto, made from plantain and cocoyam, paired with goat pepper soup and a local ginger drink. Chief Executive Officer of Beverly Hills Academy, Pearl Churchill Ken Atta, explained that the hands-on practical is designed to educate the next generation on the life-saving benefits of local cuisine over synthetic, heavily processed alternatives.
It's about how our forefathers were preparing their food, the indigenous food they were preparing for us. Those times they were nothing like monosodium or any other thing. But now you see how sicknesses and other things are moving in our systems, cancer, whatever. So we want to bring down all those things, and we want our children to also learn the local food, how to prepare it, not the indomies and the fried rices that is mixed up with so many things. So at the end of the day, what are we doing? Let them start from this angle whilst they are in school.
Director of CICOD, Daniel Banoku, utilized the platform to call for sweeping national policy changes regarding food security and the protection of youth health. Addressing the young learners, he praised them for bringing the culinary brilliance of their ancestors to the fore, urging them to consume localized diversified diets.
Try to encourage your parents to give you this at home. This is healthy food. Okay? Well done.
Speaking to JoyNews, Daniel Banoku outlined CICOD's ultimate legislative goals.
Biggest dream is to wake up and see a policy in the Parliament of Ghana promoting agroecology and agroecology education among all the tertiary education sectors in our universities. We want to wake up one morning and the Minister of Food and Agriculture would say the buffer stock should be redesigned in a way that brings the food that is grown by the African and the Ghanaian farmer only into the market for Ghanaians to consume that.
He expanded on the economic impact of the campaign, explaining that every cedi spent on local food directly empowers Ghanaian agriculture.
Well, that's how we wrap up this evening's bulletin. I'm Sheila Sechi. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com, and happy International Women's Day. Good evening.